So, what happens when the past doesn't just knock on your door, but walks right in and sits down? Today we're going to dive into Ariel Dorfman's absolutely harrowing play, Death and the Maiden. It's a story that basically puts an entire nation's soul on trial, and it all happens in just one room. So, picture this. The whole drama goes down in this one isolated beach house. You've got Paulina Salas and her husband, Gerardo Escobar, just trying to put their lives back together. And then, a stranger, Roberto Miranda, shows up on a stormy night. It's an incredibly claustrophobic setup, and that's the whole point, right? All the explosive history of an entire country is about to be trapped inside these four walls.
And this gets us right to the big question, the one that's at the heart of every single moment in this play. What do you do when the official system for justice just won't help you? When the very people who destroyed your life are protected? Do you forgive? Do you try to forget? Or do you take justice into your own hands? Okay, first section, a nation's fragile peace. To really get what's at stake for these characters, you've got to understand the bigger picture. We're talking about a whole country that's basically walking on eggshells, trying to heal from something awful.
So what's really key here is the timing. This isn't happening during the dictatorship, it's happening right after. Democracy is back, but it's this nervous, fragile thing. The old leaders are gone, but they're torturers, they're secret police. They're still walking around. They could be your neighbor. The whole country is just grappling with this trauma that's been kept in the dark for so long.
Now, the new government solution is something called a truth commission. Its job is to investigate the worst of the worst crimes, specifically the ones where people ended up dead. But, and this is a huge but, there's a massive catch. The commission is designed to find the truth, not to deliver justice. It'll say what happened, but it has zero power to name the bad guys, let alone punish them. It's all a compromise to try and keep the peace.
And this is where we meet our first character, Gerardo Escobar. He's a lawyer, a man who believes in the system, and he has just been picked by the president to be on this very commission. He is the official path forward. Do things by the book, reconcile, and move on, even if the solution isn't perfect.
Okay, Section 2, a voice from the past. So you've got this huge national drama playing out with Gerardo's new job, but back at that little beach house, this giant political problem is about to become intensely, terrifyingly personal. And it all kicks off with something so ordinary. A flat tire on a stormy night. A good Samaritan, a doctor named Roberto Miranda, stops to help Gerardo and gives him a ride home. Just a simple act of kindness. But this one tiny chance encounter, it's the match that's about to light the whole thing on fire.
Because, you see, waiting at home is Paulina, Gerardo's wife. And her past, well, it's not in the past at all. She's one of the thousands of survivors that the Truth Commission will never even listen to. Why? Because she didn't die. She is living with the horror of what was done to her 15 years ago every single day.
So when Gerardo brings this helpful stranger inside, all he hears is a nice guy's voice. But Paulina, listening from the shadows, hears something completely different. She hears the voice of her torturer. For her, the proof isn't something you can see or touch. It's a sound, a particular laugh, a way of speaking that's been burned into her brain for 15 years.
And right there, the play just explodes. That abstract debate about national justice becomes a literal trial at gunpoint, right in their own living room.
And Paulina, wow, she doesn't hesitate for a second. She moves with this terrifying certainty. She grabs her husband's pistol, she completely overpowers Roberto Miranda, and ties him to a chair. The state denied her a courtroom, so fine, she's going to create her own. She'll be the judge, the jury, and maybe, just maybe, the executioner.
And this is where it gets so brilliant, because we, the audience, are trapped right there with Gerardo. Are we watching a victim finally get to confront her monster? Or is this a horrible mistake, a delusion brought on by years of trauma where an innocent man is about to pay the price? We're just stuck, caught between her absolute certainty and his terrified denials.
Gerardo's argument is basically the voice of the new, fragile democracy. He's pleading with Paulina, saying that if they do this, they become just as bad as the monsters they fought against. For him, the rule of law, even a flawed one, is the only thing separating them from total barbarism. But Paulina's comeback is just devastating. For her, this is not some abstract principle. It's about her body, her mind, her life. Being reasonable is a luxury for people who weren't the ones being tortured. And there it is,
the powerful clash between the system's justice and a person's raw need for retribution. This whole conflict leads to the play's absolutely brilliant and twisted climax. Paulina offers a deal. She just wants a confession, a full, detailed confession, on tape. If Roberto confesses to everything, she says she'll let him go. But really, can you trust a confession that's made with a gun to your head?
Gerardo is caught in a totally impossible situation, so he convinces Roberto to just play along. He secretly agrees to coach Roberto, to feed him all the details from Paulina's own story, hoping that a fake confession will be enough to satisfy his wife and save this man's life.
So as this confession starts, we are just completely torn. On one hand, it sounds horrifyingly real. Roberto gives these excruciating details, even corrects a specific nickname that seems like definitive proof. But on the other hand, we know Gerardo is secretly feeding him lines. It feels like a performance, a desperate act to save his own skin.
And then, bam, the twist. Paulina reveals she was way ahead of both of them. She set a trap. She deliberately told her husband the wrong nickname. She told him it was Bud. She knew that if Roberto was innocent, he'd just repeat back the wrong name she planted. But he didn't. He corrected it. He said the name was Stud. It's this chilling moment where you think, oh my God, it's him. It's really him.
Now you'd think that's it, case closed. But this play is not interested in giving us easy answers. The final scene leaves us with this deep, haunting feeling that nothing is resolved.
So some time has passed. Paulina and Gerardo are all dressed up at a classical music concert trying to live that normal life Gerardo always wanted. But the music that's playing is Schubert's Death and the Maiden, the exact piece of music her torturer played while he was abusing her. The past is literally the soundtrack to their present.
And then she sees him. Or does she? Across the concert hall, Roberto Miranda is sitting there, and he's looking right at her. Their eyes meet. The monster is back in her world. Or is he a ghost? A memory? Or is he a living, breathing man?
And this is the absolute genius of the ending. The play refuses to tell you what happened after that confession. Did she actually let him go, and now she has to live in a world where her torturer goes to concerts? Or did she kill him, and now she's just haunted by his ghost forever? Or is it just some random guy? We're left with nothing but questions.
In the end, the play holds up a mirror to all of us. It forces you to ask yourself, what would I have done? Who's the real victim here by the end? Who's the monster? The lines get so blurry, and you're left to confront the profound, messy, and totally unresolved nature of trauma, justice, and what it truly takes for a person or a nation to ever really heal.